Chicks are very frail, especially during the first few weeks of their life, so it's imperative to have sound management to keep your flock healthy. Early chick mortality can be avoided entirely, but 1 to 5% of the mortality is normal in a poultry farm. But anything higher than this should be taken serious. Hello, my viewers, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'll be telling you what causes early chick mortality and ways by which you can take to reduce them. So if this is your first time of watching our videos, do ensure you hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell notification so that you get notified each time we post a new video in this channel. Early chick mortality is indicative that something is wrong with your flock, and it demands the poultry owner immediate intervention and appropriate action to stop further losses, as failure to do so may lead to huge losses. Some of the factors that causes early chick mortality include: number 1 is the genetic factor, number 2 is the management, number 3 is the disease, and number 4 is the nutritional factor. So let's discuss all 4 mortalities gradually. So number 1 is the genetic causes. As we all know that there are around 21 little genes mutations in birds, and most of these little genes lead to chick deaths during the incubation period. So some congenital tremors can also cause the death of chicks within a week of hatching. Number 2 is the management causes. Another most important cause of early chick mortality is the poor management. Sound management is indispensable for keeping flocks healthy and alive. Chicks that are reared in poor managed poultry won't be able to manifest their genetic potential. Some of the management blunders include: number 1 is high brooding temperature. High brooding temperature is dangerous for your flock. Too much heat makes the chicks to be dehydrated, due to which they can consume more water rather than the feeds. Due to their reduced feed intake, their growth is drastically affected, leading to their death. Number 2 is low brooding temperature. Low brooding temperature causes chilling, and prolonged exposure to cold can directly impact the immune system of the flock, thereby making the birds vulnerable to some diseases. Number 3 is litter contamination. Another most crucial cause of chick mortality is contaminated bedding, like the contaminated bedding materials. Some farmers use sawdust for breeding, which could be really harmful to chicks. Chicks can mistake sawdust for feed, and in the process they consume it in a good quantity, which leads to gastrointestinal impaction and ultimately resulting in their death. Number 4 is the starvation. Starvation is another cause of chick mortality because young chicks do not have fat storage to fulfill body needs during starvation, which can result to their death. Number 5 is inadequate feeders and drinkers. Using wrong feeding and drinking equipment can also cause chick mortality. Inadequate feeders and drinkers can affect the flock performance. It also leads to feed wastage and water spillage that results in wet litter, which is suitable a stable condition for disease outbreak. So less feeders and drinkers on the other hand cause starvation and ultimately leading to their death. So number 3 causes of chicks mortality is the nutritional factor. Nutritional factor, water is one of the essential elements for maintaining the health and performance of the birds. It not only acts as a transport medium for nutrients and metabolic end products, but also it helps in maintaining body temperature during hot weather. Fat soluble vitamin deficiency. Vitamins A, D, E, and K are fat soluble vitamins, and these vitamins are required for normal growth, development, and reproduction of the chicks. A high deficiency of fat soluble vitamins can cause death. So number 4 of the causes of the chicks mortality is the disease factor. Young chicks are susceptible to infection and diseases due to lack of immunity during the first 6 weeks. Is crucial to maintain biosecurity measures, and failure to do so can increase the chances of the disease outbreak. If are recording a high mortality rate in your poultry farm, it's very alarming, and you need to take appropriate action because failure to do so can cost you all your investment. So here are the steps that you can take to reduce mortality in your poultry farm. Number one is that you should buy chicks only from trusted suppliers. More often than not, the problem begins when you buy poor quality and unhealthy chicks, and most of the health problems affecting birds are, due to low genetic background. Hence, it is vital to buy chicks from a reputable and trusted supplier who raises healthy parent stock. Number two is that you should inspect the health status of the birds. No matter how reliable your supplier is, it's always important that you inspect each bird's health status before you transport them to your farm. Number three is that you should provide the flock with adequate brooding temperature. High brooding and low brooding temperature leads to high chick mortality. So it's essential to provide your flocks with a proper brooding temperature, and failure to do so can cause a lot of death in your farm. Number four is that you should keep the drinkers and feeders clean. Being a poultry farmer or a poultry owner is not an easy task. You need to take care of your flock and their needs to keep them healthy. Keeping your birds feeders and drinkers clean is very important, so make sure you clean them every morning and discard any leftover water and feed. And when discarding the leftover water and feed, make sure you do it very far away from the chicks house. It will help to prevent the soldier ants from invading your farm and killing your chicks. Number five is that you should minimize the risk of suffocating the chicks to death. Birds can quickly suffocate and die when forced to move in a tight corner or inadequate temperature. In a very cold atmosphere, they huddle to keep themselves warm, due to which the birds can suffocate or suffer a fatal injury. And to avoid this, just make sure that the boarding house temperature and the humidity are in the right level and uniform throughout the pen. Number six is that you should prevent your farm from infections and diseases. Some diseases can be gruesome, and they can wipe out your entire flock in a go, while some may not be so fatal but may affect the feed conversion ratio of the birds. So it's crucial to keep checking on your flock regularly. Number seven is that you should serve your birds water before feeds. Serving your birds water before feeds will help prevent your flock from stampeding while struggling for feed. Birds tend to drink water slower than they peck on their feet. So serving water first will deviate some of the birds' attention of water, which will reduce the intensity of the struggle for the feed. Another thing is that when serving feed to your chicks, you should avoid serving muddy feed to them because it can lead to severe problems such as poultry disease. So the best way to avoid muddy feeds on your farm is to keep the feeds away from the water. Number eight is that you should supply sufficient feed to your birds. The improper or insufficient feed can lead to poor growth and development of your birds. When birds have low body weight and poor immune responses, due to which they fall sick easily. Likewise, overfeeding can also lead to more significant problems. That is why it is vital to give them enough feed. Number nine is that you should strictly follow medication and vaccination schedules. Following medication and vaccination is a good farm practice that can help each poultry farm owners by following the medication schedule. You can keep endemic disease outbreak out from your farm. So make sure you get your birds vaccinated against the contagious diseases like the Newcastle disease, the fowl typhoid, the Gomboa disease, and the fowl pox. So number 10, which is the last, is that you should have a vet to regularly check your flock. Have a vet to regularly check your flock of chicken to ensure that there is no symptoms of contagious disease. Also, you can remove recovered birds from the flock, as recovered birds are a reservoir of infection, and in this way you can keep other birds safe and healthy.